Tonight, more details on a fire that claimed the lives of 2 children.
And what will happen to a Baton Rouge woman if convicted of her husband's murder? All this and more. Newsbeat starts right now. Good evening, Tigers. I'm Michael Edmondson.
And I'm Jackie Massey.
A Baton Rouge woman has been indicted on second-degree murder charge for the death of her husband in May. 51-year-old Euphoria Beauchamp faces a life sentence if convicted of killing 56-year-old Noelle Beauchamp. DA Hiller Moore says her side of the story is inconsistent with physical evidence. Beauchamp told police her husband was repeatedly struck in the face, so she took a handgun from her purse and shot him multiple times in the face and neck. Police say they didn't see injuries on Beauchamp when she was arrested May 5th. Information on her attorney is still unknown.
New details on a house fire that took the lives of a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in Monroe. Officials say the children were left home alone and the mother could face criminal charges. Reporter Alana Quillen has more.
Neighbors pour out from their homes on Pruitt Street in Bastrop, shocked and saddened. 2 young lives, Tashay and CJ Johnson, claimed in a house fire around 4 p.m. Monday. Johnny Hall says he was driving by when it happened.
Then we seen this young lady come out the back, and we was telling her, ma'am, this house on fire, come out. And she ran back in. That's when me and him jumped out, ran up there to the house and stuff, and she was gathering her 2 babies up out of the back trailer right here.
He says he was able to help rescue those 2 other children and the woman from the trailer behind the home.
Good Lord, glory, not mine. I'm just glad that, we could, get the other 2 out.
Hall says they didn't realize 2 other kids were still inside the other house.
She got a text message or something on the phone about her other kids. There's 2 more kids in this front house, so me and him ran back up to this front house. It was too hot to get in the front.
We busted one out, but the smoke and all that hit us in the face, and we couldn't get them out there. We couldn't get in there.
A man who says he was the children's grandfather tells us the 2 children who died were home alone at the time. He says CJ and Tashay were only 3 and 4 years old. The state fire marshal's office sent a team, including a canine, to figure out how the fire started. As the investigation continues, a neighborhood mourns for the family.
It's really just heart-wrenching, I just don't know what else to say,
I feel their pain, what they could be going through, because it could be mine or either one of ours, and I'm sorry for their loss.
The 21-year-old mother, Sierra Johnson, faces negligent homicide charges for leaving the children alone. Coming up after the break, Caitlin O'Shea will fill us in on what we can expect for weather this week.
And Jackie gives us an insight on what we can expect from our governor in the new year. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I know I was sure excited to get some warmer weather for this first week back.
Yeah, it was great. I laid out on the parade grounds. We're going to go take it over to Caitlin O'Shea and see if we'll have more great weather like this coming up.
Good evening, Tigers. I hope you had a relaxing holiday and enjoyed the gorgeous weather we had yesterday. I have some good news for you. We saw an extension of Monday's weather into today, and we'll continue to see clear blue skies with sunshine into Wednesday. Today's high hit about 70 degrees, with tonight's low approaching 48 degrees and a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow will follow a similar trend with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 48. The only difference will be a 10% increase in humidity, causing tomorrow's feel-like temperature to be a little bit higher than 69 degrees. Unfortunately, this lovely weather pattern is going to come to a screeching halt on Thursday, with the highs reaching only about 53 degrees. And on top of that chill, the chance of rain returns at 60% for the afternoon and increases to 80% in the evening, with a low of 41 degrees. Coming up later in the show, I'll give you a look at how the weekend's shaping up. But for now, back to Jackie with more news.
The presidential election of 2016 may seem far away, but potential candidates are already working on their campaigns. Louisiana's Governor Bobby Jindal is considering running for president, but may need more publicity. According to a CBS poll, 14% of Republicans want him to run, while 65% say they don't know enough information about him. According to the poll, other potential candidates like Mitt Romney are more popular. The poll states that about 59% of Republicans want him to run, while 26% don't want him involved. I'm sure everyone has heard about the potential Democratic Party candidates. I know I've seen "Ready for Hillary" stickers around campus. And the poll says that about 85% of Democrats want Hillary to run, while 11% of Democrats disagree. Maybe Bill Clinton will become the first lady after all. Who knows? The second candidate is Vice President Joe Biden, who has 40% of the Democrats' approval. In other political news, according to the annual report from Americans United Under Life, Louisiana is the most pro-life state. AUL takes credit for being the nation's top pro-life legal team and says that Louisiana is ranked #1 for its 6th year in a row. Bobby Jindal showed his enthusiasm by tweeting, "Louisiana is proud of her pro-life culture, and we will continue to fight to protect the unborn." Mississippi, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas are also in the top 5, while New Jersey, California, Oregon, and Washington are in the list's bottom 5.
Thanks, Jackie. Certainly a lot of political interesting things going on. After the break, we'll hear from sports expert Johnny Lombardi to see what we can expect from this week's Tigers.
Hey folks, welcome back to Tiger TV Newsbeat. I'm Johnny Lombardi filling in tonight for Cody Krupp. It was a back-and-forth weekend for LSU athletics, and it started on Friday as the third-ranked LSU gymnastics team traveled to Lexington to take on Kentucky and number 20 Arizona State. The Tigers were victorious with a score of 196.600, outscoring the Wildcats and the Sun Devils by more than a point each. For the second straight week, senior Jesse Jordan won the all-around title with a 39.525, while also tying for the vault and beam titles. During gymnastics media availability this week, Lamencia Hall and Jessica Savona talked about what makes this team so effective on the floor.
We just have to focus on details. It's amazing that we're not worrying about falls. We're not worrying about things that are just so drastic. We're just worrying about details and pointed feet, handstands, different things like that that can really separate second to first.
Just working on the little things. We've accumulated a very strong bond between the team. We want it. It's a desire that everybody on the team shares.
Third-ranked LSU gymnastics returns to action on Friday as they host the Missouri Tigers in the PMAC at 7:30. The men's basketball team looked poised to continue their early advance through the SEC on Saturday morning against the Texas A&M Aggies in the PMAC. That was until the Tigers blew an 11-point second-half lead to the Aggies, who outscored LSU 20-6 in the final 10 minutes of the game to steal the win, 67-64. Jordan Mickey led the Tigers with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and tied his career high of 7 blocks, but it wasn't enough. The Tigers now fall to 2-2 in the SEC. Head coach Johnny Jones talked about the importance of the team putting these early setbacks behind them.
You have to really bounce back, and we talk about realizing what has transpired in the past, but we have to break that rearview mirror quickly and start looking ahead and looking forward. And that's the most important thing for us. And knowing in sports you're going to have some setbacks, but how you deal with those setbacks will certainly determine the caliber team that we will have in indication of the type of players that we have in the program. And these guys have done a pretty good job of dealing with the few setbacks we've had this year.
LSU Hoops returns to action tonight in Gainesville against the Florida Gators at 6 p.m. on ESPN. The LSU women's basketball team continued their hot streak Sunday in the PMAC as the Lady Tigers knocked off 10th-ranked Kentucky by a score of 84-79, improving their overall record to 10-8 and 4-2 in the SEC. Danielle Ballard and Sheila Boykin combined for 39 points on 15 of 29 shooting, equaling their career highs. The Lady Tigers have defeated ranked SEC opponents in back-to-back games for the first time since 2007. This is also the 4th time in the Nikki Caldwell era that LSU has defeated Kentucky as a top 10 team in the country. The road only gets tougher for the Lady Tigers as they travel to Knoxville Thursday to take on number 5, Tennessee. The Pelicans fell back under 500 this weekend after falling to the NBA's deplorable 6-36 New York Knicks by a score of 99-92 in Madison Square Garden on Monday without stars Drew Holiday or Anthony Davis. The loss to the NBA's worst team just continues a season of frustration for Pelicans fans, players, and head coach Monty Williams. The Pels currently sit at 10th place in the Western Conference, 4 games behind Phoenix for the final playoff spot. The Pelicans will try to get back to 500 when they return to action Wednesday night in the Smoothie King Center as New Orleans hosts Kobe Bryant and the 12-30 Los Angeles Lakers. That's all the time I've got for you tonight. Make sure to follow Tiger TV Sports on Twitter at @TTV_sports and check us out tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for the debut of our Wednesday night show with Taylor Curette and Chenille Reed. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Johnny. Certainly unfortunate news about the New Orleans Pelicans, but how about the energy and passion of Lamencia Hall?
I know, I love her. She's always great to watch, and I can't wait for the next gymnastics meet.
Definitely.
So definitely stay tuned to find out what student government has to create to influence students to travel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. The Tiger Card office in the Student Union is now helping students get passports. They will take 2 passport photos for $10 in hopes to help with the Go Travel program. Go Travel encourages students at LSU to study abroad. Once students get their pictures, they can walk to the Olin Career Center to follow up with the official paperwork. LSU President F. King Alexander says he has seen how well the system works in other universities. He says the number of students obtaining passports has already gone up by almost 30%.
Louisiana used to be known for its Southern hospitality. Is that still the case? LSU is hosting a leisure class that is hoping to address hospitality and etiquette. Course instructor Emily Stitch will teach the course at Thoreau Hall. Out of class, the competition focuses on different types of etiquette, cross-cultural communication, as well as understanding generational differences. The course also offers insight into social skills and being a great host or guest. Stitch said the goal of the course is for participants to enjoy the calm and confidence that comes from knowing what to do in any business or social situation.
Etiquette is the oil of business and of friendships, and if we understand more about where we're coming from, it minimizes that friction that we so often feel.
The course starts February 24th from 7 to 9 p.m. and costs $126. You can find out more about leisure classes by dropping by their office on the first floor of the Student Union.
Coming up after the break, Caitlin will let us know if it'll always be sunny in Louisiana.
I hope it's going to be sunny so I can run around the lakes, maybe go for a little bike ride.
Definitely. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Tiger TV Newsbeat. I'm Caitlin O'Shea with your extended weather forecast. Let's go ahead and start off by looking at this weekend's prediction. Friday's looking a little bit dreary, unfortunately. The forecast is showing about a 60% chance of rain with a high of 48 degrees, so make sure you grab something warm and your rain gear in case you get caught in a shower on the way to class. Friday evening we'll have a low of about 35 degrees, but the chances of rain decrease as the night progresses. Luckily, this trend won't continue on to Saturday, and we'll see a relatively steady warm-up happening towards the end of the 7-day forecast. Saturday brings a sunny day with about a high of 57 degrees and a low of 40. Sunday holds to that pattern with a high of 64 degrees and a low of 40, with the sun still shining brightly. Monday will bring a minimum cool down with a high of 57 degrees and a low of 36. All in all, it looks like we'll have a fair forecast with the week ahead, with a few episodes of showers. Make sure you check back with us tomorrow for your most up-to-date weather information. Now back to Jackie and Michael.
Thanks, Caitlin. Ever since the start of the new year, my friends won't stop talking about going to the UREC. Tiger TV reporter Sarah Lofdahl has a story on the UREC and how they are prepared for the New Year crowd.
As we bring in the new year, our New Year's resolutions are always a topic of discussion. One of the most common, going to the gym. And as school starts back, the LSU UREC is preparing for the mass amount of people that will walk into the facility feeling that this year will be different from the last. A lot of research has been done toward this trend, and it shows that 80% of the New Year's resolution crowd drops off by the second week of February.
We also have personal trainers, so they do one-on-one personal training, and they also do small group training. And then we have other things like we have specialty courses, which are pretty cool. They have, all kinds of different interests.
Most people that come to the gym for the first time in January are lost, wandering around not knowing how to use any of the machines and truly not knowing how to work out in the right ways. The UREC has employees who are there to help out anyone who may be lost.
It's great to have those services like a fitness assistant to answer your questions.
Learning how to use the equipment can make your experience more successful, and it can help you keep to your resolution.
As Muhammad Ali once said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. So keep to those resolutions, LSU, no matter what they are. For Tiger TV, I'm Sarah Lofdahl.
The UREC is trying to appeal to everyone and to every interest. They add more courses every year to get more people to stay active.
Well, as much as I want to stay on top of my New Year's resolutions, Girl Scout cookies might just set me back. Now you can use your credit card to buy your favorite Girl Scout cookies along with some new gluten-free additions like Toffee-tastic. Local Girl Scouts can now promote their cookies on a website tailored to them through the digital cookie program. But not all troops will offer online sales, but lucky for us, the Louisiana East Scouts will get the chance to have a website. Online buyers have the option to get their treats mailed to their home or delivered to their door by local Girl Scouts. Cookie orders will begin February 1st and booths will open from February 27th to March 15th. While some of us are spending time ordering cookies at snacks, others in the Baton Rouge area are struggling to find where they will get their next mail. Reporter Tamala Adebutu has more on how a homeless man tries to help find his way by helping others.
Lionel Clark has a confident stride, smiling at everyone he meets. He sees himself as a volunteer, but the average person would never know of his flawed past.
I'm a fighter. I just don't lay down. But I don't have no family. I'm by myself.
Clark spent his childhood in a foster home. His parents gave him up for adoption at birth.
I became personally enraged with the fact that they gave me up at birth.
His hatred led him down a dark path. He spent 22 years in and out of prison, feeling hopeless, and became addicted to drugs.
I locked myself up mentally, physically, and spiritually. I chose incarceration in my life on the streets because I didn't have that acceptance of those people. Because since they rejected me, I rejected them.
Clark is just one out of nearly 1,000 homeless people in the Baton Rouge area. The Center Area Alliance for the Homeless includes the One Stop Homeless Service Center. It offers a variety of services to over 130 clients daily. Clark arrived to the center 3 years ago and now calls it home.
Helped me have a sense of direction. And I always got somewhere where I can come to and stop and be accepted.
Director of Housing at the One Stop, Susan Cox, feels honored to help people like Clark every day, but says she is bothered by the issue of poverty and wonders if it will ever make sense.
The pieces to the puzzle don't fit. And yet people out there don't understand all that. They just immediately think, well, they get disability, they get food stamps, they have access to a bus. They're fine. What could possibly be their problem? But if you're in the trenches like we are here, we see it.
Clark says homelessness is not only physical, but mental as well.
I mean, it's not that outer image that everybody see, and you can come around and feed me and go to church and pick me up off the streets and have me in church for one day, and then you put me back in the same spot, talking about I'm homeless, and you putting me right back.
Through it all, Clark still maintains a positive outlook on life and has hope for his future.
What I ain't never had, which is a family. I want a family to offer them the things that my family never offered to me.
For Tiger TV, I'm Tamla Adebutu.
You can visit homelessinbr.org for more information on how to help the homeless in our community.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thanks for stopping by tonight, Tigers. Make sure to visit us at tigertv.tv.
We'll see you next week. Good night, Tigers.